Okay, I'm finally doing my review on the Lauren Ashtyn collection topper. I'm going to compare it to my Enchant top because this is the only other kind I've ever had. I've had 2 of these. So I'm gonna kind of talk about both of them, compare and contrast, pros and cons, 1000% honest. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the good stuff. The hair on this piece is incredible. It's awesome quality. There's so much of it. It's densely packed. It's triple knotted. Like, the length is awesome. It's a little longer than this. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but we cut a little bit off. Hands down, best hair I've ever seen. Really, really good quality. As opposed to the Enchant top, this hair is kind of subpar. It wasn't terrible. By the way, these are both human hair. Not terrible, but just like maybe less than half the amount of hair. It dried out really fast, kind of frizzy when it was wet, hard to like manage a little bit. When I first got this one, I could not stop running my fingers through it. So it's awesome quality hair, super like luxurious is what I would say. There's also lots of color options, which is great because this is the full volume piece. They have some that have a little bit less hair or a lot less. But this is the full volume piece in the color Sophia. This is it. So it's like this pretty dark brown with some really pretty kind of caramel balayage highlights. I love the color. And they have lots of colors like that. So they have some just solid colors. They have some with highlights. And the only thing I had my stylist do was add a dark root because I like that look. But other than that, like it's not color treated after purchase. So I love that. I know it will last longer because of that, because it's less damage. So they have lots of color options. The Enchant top, they had quite a few color options. I ordered the color ring, which was awesome because it came and I was able to like handpick what color I wanted, but I had to dye it a lot. The other one I did too, to try to get the color I wanted, which, like I said, compromises the hair, makes it so it doesn't last as long. I also have not seen any shedding yet, which I've only had it for 2 months, so that may not be telling, but so far so good, like 0 shedding. This one, after a couple of washes, it really started to shed out of the part, which sucks because that's where you want it the thickest. These are supposed to last 3 years. That was one of the biggest selling points for me. I wanted something that was gonna last because my first Enchant top only lasted 4 months. I think I was really hard on it, but this one's been almost 1.5 years and it's still in pretty good condition, but it's losing, like I said, it's lost quite a bit of hair. And I don't know if you can see, but yeah, like all of this is hair that's loose in the part and it's gonna fall out. It's all kind of coming up. So that really sucks. But it lasted a lot longer than the other one and I think I took better care of it. So take that or leave it. This one also, I think, is gonna stay cleaner between washes. Like it's been 2 months and it still looks awesome. I think I could go at least another month without washing it, which is good because the less you wash it, the better the hair looks and the longer it will last. But let's get into the cons because there's kind of a really big one. I will tell you straight up, I really don't like I want to use the word hate, the base of the Lauren Ashtyn collection piece. Let me show you in comparison, because this is what I'm comparing it to, the Enchant top. Okay, look at how natural this base is. Like, it looks like a scalp, especially right up against your skin. I'm putting my thumb behind it. It's super natural looking. So I loved that about this piece. It was a huge selling point. It only looks like that in this area. That's where you're supposed to part it. Everywhere else looks like this. So it's like super fake looking. Just this like netting. So that I don't like. I wish this one had all of this, at least the front part like this, where it looks super natural so you could part it wherever you wanted. Because that's another thing I liked about this one is you can theoretically part it wherever you want. It doesn't always lay flat depending on where you part it, but but the base is all the same. But let me show you this base because I don't think it's very realistic at all, which is really disappointing because for the price, I had super high expectations and this was almost a deal breaker. I almost didn't buy it. I went and saw this in person, which if you have the chance to see a piece before you buy it, because you can't return these things once they're open. If you have a chance to see it before you buy it, do that, because I'm glad I got to see this in person. I would have been, I don't know. I've made it work and I'm dealing with it, but this is what the base looks like on this one. Just like that ugly netting on the other one, can you see? The only difference is this one has so much more hair and they're so tightly packed that you don't see the base as much as you do on the other one. However, I just like, look at this front piece. It's just so ugly right here. And I hate that about it. Let me tell you the biggest difference, and if I could change just only one thing, what I really like about the Enchant Top is they have hair sewn on underneath this piece, like quite a bit of hair. This part's really thin, but under here, they've sewn on hair so that it's sandwiched the base. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to show you, but it's kind of hard. It's sandwiched the base between a layer of hair on underneath and a layer of hair on top. So it makes it really easy to hide. That's not how the Lauren Ashtyn piece is. They've got a, just like, I don't know, a single strand maybe sewn on underneath. So it's just a really obvious base right here. I wish they had sewed on more hair underneath. That would have made a big, huge difference. I've almost thought about getting like a dark brown Sharpie and coloring this in or something, because it's conspicuous. Like you can see it on my head, and I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna put it back on and I'll show you how it bugs me and how I've dealt with it. But another thing is there are some cons that just come with having so much hair. So it's kind of like personal preference, whether you'd rather have a ton of hair and have these cons or have less hair and not have to deal with them. So one of the things is these giant clips. On the Lauren Ashtyn piece, the clips are so much bigger than on the Enchant Top. I'll try to put them side by side. That's because this has so much more hair than the Enchant Top. So you have to have heavier duty clips. They pull on my hair a lot more, so I'm sure I have more damage. It's hot, it's really hot. And it's just heavy, I can feel it a lot more, so it's not as comfortable as the Enchant Top. However, this is like dream hair. So I'm kind of okay to put up with that because I like the hair so much. I just really wish I could take this base and put this hair on it. Like that would be ideal, but until I invent my own hair topper someday, that probably won't happen. So I'm just gonna show you how I put this on. One thing is I've concealed the crap out of my scalp and I'm gonna do a whole other video about that, but that helps a lot to try to blend this part. And then I just kind of line up, I have a really messy part on the piece, which is key. That helps to hide it a lot. And I just scoop and pull, but not too far back. But like this just doesn't lay flat, you guys. I hate that. I'm just gonna clip it in. But I try to kind of get some lift in the front of my own hair and it mostly hides it, but you can you can see it. This one was just so much less conspicuous when I lined it up with my own part. Like, see how normal that looks? And it laid really flat. This one just doesn't, and I hate that. But other than that, like, I still like it. I still, like I said, I love having longer hair. This Enchant Top, this is the longest length they had. So they have another piece that's longer, but it's the huge base, and I didn't want a bigger base. So I like being able to have long hair. It's really luxurious and soft, and I love that about it. I just really don't like the base. And I think for the price, you should have that. This one was $400 and this one is $1,000. So it's a huge price difference. I kind of was a little disappointed, but anyway, that's my review. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think about them too. See you guys.